The Holdovers, 2023. I saw this a while ago and was going to watch it again when I was visiting a friend, but it's over 2 hours long. We didn't have the time and we looked up something else to watch. Um, it stars Paul Camiati, Paul Gamiarty as Paul Hunnam, and he's a classics teacher at Barton Academy boarding school, and it's set at Christmas. Um, when I saw it, it was well, end of last year, so it was quite a while back, but it felt more seasonable. But I think it's very good film to see at that time of year, and perhaps other times of the year because you don't need to see it. Um, Sometimes actually seeing a Christmas film when it's warm is quite a nice thing to do, I think, but everyone has different opinions. Um, but yeah, so Paul Gamiarty is like a protagonist. There's also Dominic Sessa who plays Angus Tully, and he's a student who's been held over. So he's staying at campus during this winter break. And unfortunately, oh, he doesn't want to be, but he's left there. And he seems to be like an antagonist if Paul Gamiarchi is the protagonist. Or you could say it the other way around, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know which way it's designed. Except I suppose we see Paul first, we certainly do in the trailer I've just watched. And you see it from their points of view, or you could see it from Mary Lamb's point of view. She's played by Davine Joy Randolph, and she's a peacemaker. She's a lovely character in this film. Oh, I just thought she was great. Um, so the story is about this particular Barton Academy and how this particular teacher, Paul Hunnam, has been selected that he's going to he's drawn the short straw as such. He's going to have to stay over the Christmas holiday period to look after those students, and there are fixed rules, and it is almost like, oh gosh, you wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't like it. I was fortunate never to go to boarding school. I was. I remember my school days well, and I loved the holidays, and so it would be a terrible nightmare to be expected to go to, to stay back for whatever reason. Um, Now, at one point, it doesn't actually explain it, but mm, yeah, I think I will explain this. It's not spoilerish because it happens quite early on, I think, but a few of those kids who were held over are able to have a get out, so they all leave by helicopter of all things. They somehow they're all delighted because they're not going to be at the school for the next 2 weeks. But at least a handful still are. And I think Paul Hunnam is glad because the fewer people, the better. I mean, he didn't want Angus there, and Angus is still there. And he finds out why in a very poignant um, part of the story, which I think is revealed in the trailer. But yeah, let's say about Paul Hunnam. He's pretty absurd, but he's not very well liked by the students. We don't really get to see school term much, but we get the feeling of his reputation quite clearly. And this story really is about the learning curve. It's about finding our humanity, and the learning curve applies all around. It's like the coming together of people, and I love stories like this. For a start, I mean classics and the sort of posh learning in, you know, English literature, I guess. And in America, it would apply just as much. I mean, I have seen quite a lot of films like Rules of Attraction, although that's almost like the other side. It's almost like wow, even a college that has um, liberal arts, well, in effect, the shock and horror is because that's what liberal arts colleges are like, or that's the impression given in this film based on the 1987 book by Bret Easton Ellis, that drunkenness, debauchery, drugs, everything starting with D, that's bad as far as American society is considered, applies in this film. And things don't get as anywhere near as bad in this film, The Holdovers. And it's probably a slightly younger age group. I'm thinking it's not university level, it's probably sixth form. I'm not quite sure, but that's how I felt it was. So like 17, 16, 17 year olds, if they were in the UK, they'd be like studying for their A level. That's the impression I got. That's the kind of school it is. It's not like a university level. Um, but I really liked the human elements injected in, especially by characters like Mary. I thought she was absolutely delightful. And Paul, Paul Hannum, he he softens, it feels, because of what he learns by this holiday, and I think that's sweet. And we have Angus, who is, um, I guess he's troubled. He's had major difficulties in his young life already, and so there's that angle explored. There are other characters as well. Lydia Crane, who's assistant to the headmaster. There's, I mean, some of them you don't get to see that much of, but the characters you do get to see, it's it's either them pushing the boundaries, the outer bound areas. You'd think if you were at school but weren't allowed to use the term time equipment, and I guess there are reasons why that applies, but like the gym, out of bounds. Um, I guess it's dangerous, but it just means that a bad situation is made even worse. It's like the worst of both worlds if you are not able to even use the facilities of the school, some of the facilities. Um, so, and to be just stuck there, it's just miserable. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to score this 9 out of 10 because I thought it was a great film. I really do want to watch it again. And if I see it, and there's a lot more information by watching it fresh, then I will make a review on my Kelly Seconds channel. But if you've seen it, I'd love to know what you think. I'd like to know if you agree with the score of 9 out of 10. It did seem to do well on Rotten Tomatoes, from what I remember. Um, and so I think it is one of those films that is, I mean, it's not got any LGBTQIA plus angle as far as I recollect. So it's very cis and straight, but there's a lot of human interest, and it felt um, a lovely film to watch. So, please like if you like this review. Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. And thanks. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.